Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the Crefeld School's Graduation 2024. My name is George Zalesnik, and I'm the head of school. And it's a good thing that it's just a nice, breezy, cool day out here tonight, right? Just called it perfectly. But thank you all for being here. We're going to honor 16 amazing young people today. Before we begin, I want to acknowledge the Board of Trustees and the work that they do behind the scenes. We have a few trustees here today. If they could please stand. Kendall and Sarah's back there. She doesn't want to stand. It's okay. Let's give them a round of applause. And these graduates know that, they did all the hard work, but they've been well coached and advised. And I would like the staff to stand and turn to the audience. That's not awkward at all. Thank you. Thank you. We are now going to hear a performance by the Glee Club.
Try to take a breath, thoughts racing through my head. I try to capture it, but a picture can't hold what a heart is feeling. I just wanna stop the world from spinning, slow it all down for a minute so that I can take it in. I can take it in. Here we are, on top of the stars. Never thought we'd ever get this far. We live for moments like this. We come alive in moments like this. Here we are, this is our time. Like a dream coming to life. We live for moments like this. Come alive in moments like this. Moments like this. Don't wanna close my eyes. I'm feeling so alive. I'm trying to find the words, but the words can't say what my heart is beating. I just wanna stop the world from spinning, slow it all down for a minute so that I can take it in. I can take it in. Here we are, on top of the stars. Never thought we'd ever get this far. We live for moments like this. Come alive in moments like this. Here we are, this is our time. Like a dream coming to life. We live for moments like this.
amazing. Let's give them another round of applause. Before I address the graduates, I want to honor those who worked many hours to get us here today, the seniors, parents and families, staff, administrators, and trustees. It takes a village. I want to let you know that we are recording this ceremony as well as having it professionally photographed. Pictures and videos will be available and shared with families in the coming days. Crefeld Class of 2024, congratulations. The Crefeld School graduates self-aware, empathetic, lifelong learners who possess an appreciation for diverse perspectives, their role in society, and their ability to act as agents of change. Let's talk about being an agent of change. Community service learning is an integral component of each student's learning experience at Crefeld. Service learning is a form of experiential learning where students apply academic knowledge and critical thinking skills to address genuine community needs. At Crefeld, we believe it's important to prepare our students to fulfill their responsibilities as citizens. That's one way to be an agent of change. The action that each group decides to take may include direct service to the community, writing to and lobbying elected officials, or persuading Crefeld families to become more conscious of issues. In addition to CSL groups run by Crefeld staff, we also encourage students to explore other issues through independent community service learning. Our vision is that students will graduate from Crefeld informed about local, national, and world issues, the ability to discuss different points of view on the issues, and ready to contribute to the common good. And I can tell you right now that this class of 2024 can absolutely do that. Now let's talk a little bit more about this class. I've had the absolute pleasure of getting to know each one of them over the last few years. I've watched you shine on stage and in the classroom. Your work in the graduation by exhibition process has been truly inspiring. You have modeled poise and tenacity for the underclassmen. Each of you have grown so much over your time at Crefeld. I would like to take a moment to share a memory of each of you. This is a memory, my memory. This is just one, not the whole picture. Anthony, loudly practicing the guitar in the lobby. And Uncle Tony. Ari, your musicianship and perseverance on the AT. Caleb, Penny Dog, although you still never explained to me the story behind the name. Clover, you are a great friend and quite hilarious. Elsie, you set your own boundaries and I respect that. Eric, you pushed your limits this year and I'm proud of you. Isaac, the authentic way you ask me how I'm doing, not to mention my conversations with your grandfather. Jake, your dedication to your music. Madeline, your artwork and kind nature. Mariana, you're kind of good at everything. And of course, Hello Kitty. Martine, your voice, I finally got to hear it. Sabria, you became a world traveler. Sheed, your public presentation was amazing. Simone, your freaking creative mind. I mean, garlic cake pops. Sophia, you really blossomed this year. Wisp, the only student I ever let to go on Crefeld's roof. Shh, don't tell anyone. When you leave here today, I want you to take all the laughs, the lessons, the tears that you have shed, and the friendships that you have made, all of which help make you stronger agents of change. Congratulations, I wish you all the best. Good luck, class of 2024. You are Crefelders for life. I'm now going to ask the senior speaker, Mariana Jagos Barbera, to come up. Is that close?
Dear guests, teachers, families, Crefeld community, and most importantly, the class of 2024. Some of us came to Crefeld in middle school, and others came in high school. Either way, we all ended up at Crefeld. Crefeld is one of those places where many unique identities and personalities come together to build a close community, to create an environment where everyone can find their own spaces, where teachers and students put in time to form strong relationships, a place that tries its hardest to be inclusive of everyone. I felt this inclusivity during my shadow day in 7th grade, and it was then that I knew that this would be a great place for me, and I wasn't wrong. I came to Crefeld in 8th grade as a shy but excited child. I made friends here quicker than I've made friends anywhere else, and I've seen others experience the same thing. Not everyone is cut out for Crefeld, but for those who are, it is very rewarding. For those who are not, it's still another step in their life to something great. When asking my peers about what they enjoyed the most being at Crefeld, many said they enjoyed the creative freedom and support there is here. Others said they will miss the quote boards, and some even said they enjoyed rolling down the hills. I also asked my peers what they were nervous about, and some said they were nervous about completing their exhibitions. Some also talked about how they experienced shock or doubt about Crefeld's curriculum in different ways. Graduation is bittersweet for some people. The idea of moving on to another stage in our lives can bring up so many emotions, whether it's excitement, anxiousness, or a mix of other emotions that we can't describe. These emotions don't only hit the students, but also the parents and or guardians who have followed them along the way. I'm sure that those who cried after we finished kindergarten feel the same. No, sorry, that's not right. I'm sure that those who cried after we finished kindergarten feel like that was only yesterday. Where has the time gone? Oh. Our teachers and advisors have been mentors and support systems to us throughout our time here. They allowed us to try new things, express our opinions, and grow into who we are today. Over the years, our teachers have walked with us as they challenge us to grow and support us in our path. They have also communicated with our families, writing messages about us in our report cards, and commenting on our schoolwork. And today, they will share their final message to us. The class of 2024 is a special class. We have forged strong relationships and built a community of connection amongst ourselves and in the larger Crefeld community. Crefeld won't be the same without Ari's goth vibe, Anthony's passion for music, Caleb's humor, Clover's game design, Eric's smile, Elsie's relaxing aura, Isaac's pencil sketches, Jake's intelligence, Nasheed's quiet generosity, Madeline's kindness, Martine's vocals, Sabria's abstract paintings, Simone's screenplay, Sophia's talent for acting, and Wisp's empathy. These are characteristics that will serve each person well wherever their path leads. After today, we are no longer high schoolers. We will all be taking the next steps to who we want to be, whether it's college, trade school, work, or a gap year. The upcoming years may be tough for everyone, but I know that every single one of us has the ability to define our own success. So dear class of 2024, remember that you are always part of this Crefeld community that cares about you immortally. Thank you for the memories.
So now we will hear the commencement speeches. Simone Alejandro Barrio.
A director is born. 18 years ago, the earth opened up, and out came a baby driving a red convertible. While some babies come from cabbages, other babies come out of the earth driving cars. Very precocious babies with amazing hair. This baby first drove into a town and found his loving family, who named our budding director Simone. Simone brought joy to all who encountered him. He was inventive, theatrical, curious, and eager. It was clear that Simone was a lover of life and wanted to learn. Our eager protagonist attended school packing tuna sushi roll lunches and felt ready for the challenge, but soon the environment became stifling for such a creative spirit. School became a place Simone likened to Dave and Buster's in his senior personal learning reflection exhibition, and he quickly tired of the tiered pendulum of its monotony. No generic schooling would do, nor any generic t-shirt for this child. So Simone, who so acutely knows what he needs and always has, left that Dave and Buster's school and headed to Crefeld. At Crefeld, or Sky Zone, how Simone referred to us in his PLR, he found, air quotes, freedom. But as Simone likes to say, we are all victims of freedom. So trying to focus on what he should do at times could be challenging. Therefore, Simone did a lot of everything. He wrote and sang songs, most recently on the Spring Mini course, even a song partly about Ratatouille. And it was so good. He relaunched and directed a live performance of his Card Troubles short for his senior leadership exhibition, with over 1/3 of the school acting or attending during lunch. For his creative exhibition, he wrote a full-length screenplay and held an online reading that also included several Crefeld students. During the spring performance, Simone took the stage and startled us with his acting prowess. As a director in all things, Simone showed thoughtfulness, patience, and enthusiasm, helping others to shine. He persistently taught us that it's important to laugh at ourselves and to delight in the moment and the absurdity of the situation. He also did calculus. Outside of his schoolwork, he was our resident movie and TV critic. I benefited from his recommendations during advisory when he remembered to come to my advisory and not Tony's. We particularly bonded over Poor Things, where Emma Stone portrayed a beautiful Frankenstein's monster who gleefully delights in life with a childlike wonder. Simone possesses such wonder. Seeing the world through Simone's eyes is like seeing it for the first time all over again, and we are grateful for this gift. But now it's time for you to get back into that little red car and drive to Bennington to pursue your passion for film and surely, cueing the Sinatra, do things mostly your way. And we at Sky Zone wouldn't expect or want it any differently. Congratulations, this is not the end of the world, but a new beginning. Stealing from your own screenplay again. Simone, you did everything, you really did it. You worked hard and you fought and you did everything you needed to do, and it paid off. You truly are the bee's knees. And to me, you'll always be king of the Whoppers. So congratulations, Simone. There you go. Thank you.
I forgot to mention, you may have noticed that I am not calling the graduates up in alphabetical order by last name. If you want to know the order, you're going to have to ask them after, and how we came to this order. Jacob Thomas Hillbush.
It's hard to imagine a time when Jake was not a musician. I'd like to invite you on a trip down memory lane. The year was 2019. Jake was an 8th grader, and he was new to Crefeld. This Jake was not as tall, and there was not a beard yet. He liked Drexel and basketball, and he needed to move around. You could often find him pacing at the edge of class. There was a furry Chewbacca hoodie. Jake had just reconnected with his friend Caleb, who he bit in preschool, and then got kicked out because of it. That didn't get in the way of the two of them becoming fast friends when they found themselves reunited at Crefeld. This younger Jake didn't yet know how to play the guitar, but he wanted to. He was determined. He would sit in the hallway of middle school world, practicing, always practicing. He wanted to sing too, but he had not yet found his voice. We look back on that first art show with fondness. Many things have changed. Jake is taller now, with a beard that he thinks rivals Joe's. He has a witty sense of humor, he's clear on his morals, and he holds himself to his own high standards. Jake is passionate about history and philosophy. His last research paper compared the philosophies of Hobbes and Locke and the idea of the social contract. Jake is well-traveled. Last summer, he went to Spain with an intensive music academy and to Indonesia to see extended family. He also traveled to South Africa this spring as an exchange student at our sister school in Cape Town. Jake has stepped into leadership roles. He was a cabin leader for elementary kids in the California Redwoods, where he focused on setting the tone and was really proud that he didn't need to discipline anyone. He was also the architect of a Red Hot Chili Peppers takeover in his music class when Ben was away on tour. Some things have stayed the same over the years. The Chewbacca hoodie still makes an appearance from time to time. Jake still paces in the front of the room during advisory, every day, often while playing the Wordle. Caleb is still a close friend, among other good friends Jake has made along the way. To our knowledge, there have been no further biting incidents. Jake still loves basketball and has been both a team member and a captain on the Crefeld team. He's also still a Drexel fan, and he'll be heading there in the fall, where he was accepted into their music industry program. His guitar is always close by, and his love of music runs deep as ever. When Jake hiked the Appalachian Trail last year, he carried and played a ukulele all 32 miles of the trip. He even wears his guitar pick on a string around his neck, a physical marker of the creative outlet he loves so much. This brings us back to where we started. Jake, you have grown in so many ways, and you've become a talented musician with a voice that is uniquely yours. We've had the immense privilege of being your audience for that growth, watching you write and sing and play through your time here at Crefeld. Best of luck at Drexel, and we hope to get to see you play again soon. Congratulations.
Ariana Adele Zampella.
Three years of this. Ari, you're a massive fan of the horror genre, so I have a question for you. What makes a scary movie good? You have your slashers, your psychological films, zombies even, but what makes them actually cult-worthy? I know you'd probably be partial to any of the Scream movies, but I have an idea I wanted to run by you. I think the best aspect of this genre has to do with its characters. And if a director wants to make a successful horror movie, they only have to model the main character after you. Every horror film needs a main character you can just latch onto, someone who from the second you see them makes you think, yeah, that person's stone cold. As Crefeld's black-clad punk rocker, you had the look nailed down. Even on the Appalachian Trail or during Students' Run, you insisted on black clothing, as that's the only proper way to be seen in public. You have your customs, and you demand respect. In fact, you command so much respect that you outranked me in our GBE class, co-ruling with Madeline whenever Sarah left the room. Clearly, you're a natural-born leader, indispensable with a Crefeld and during a zombie or a vampire or a killer clown attack. A good scary movie protagonist also rises above challenges and may be unassuming at first. When you started out at Crefeld, you seemed like another quiet kid who detested pandemic-era school. In fact, you did everything you could in your power to avoid as much human contact as possible. But every good hero has a moment where they rise up. For you, that switch was in 10th grade. You decided enough was enough, and you were going to become the successful, outgoing student you wanted to be. You really started rocking it in class, and on writing assignments, you became a regular Stephen King, both in the quality of your work and in the length of your responses. Remember when you turned in 9 pages for what was supposed to be a 3-paragraph history essay? That was fun, thanks for that. But Ari, your brilliance doesn't need a billion pages. You have battled hard throughout the years to turn in work that you were happy with. You also help others to be happy in their work, like when you led the Glee performance for your leadership project, which was joyful and silly and a huge success. Maybe you weren't scary, but you definitely beat your nerves and brought this special group together even more. Yeah, a scary movie character needs to connect to the audience, get some buy-in, and I think you totally fill that role. The protagonist also needs a clear character development, and that's what you've done here at Crefeld. If you're going to do something, you're going to do it right, no half measures. The skill will be important for you when conducting an exorcism. You don't want half a demon walking around. But it also comes through in your music and in your leadership, to which you've really dedicated yourself while at Crefeld. Once you got to play every day, you really came into your own, both as a musician and as a Crefelder. Whether you were belting out My Chemical Romance songs in Glee, or strumming along to George's favorite Pink Floyd song during the art show, you've etched yourself into the school's extensive soundtrack. The music class opened up a lot of friendships for you, and every good horror movie hero needs a group of ridiculous teens making ridiculous decisions. With how you care for your friends, though, there's no way you would let any harm come to them. Similarly, you talk about your younger siblings the way a mama bear would talk about her cubs. There's a lot of love in there, and it comes out to anyone lucky enough to become close with you. Ari, as you continue your journey to Penn State Abington, I'm sure you'll continue to become the horror movie-informed leader that you've been at Crefeld, and I know you'll rock it. Best of luck.
Sabria Anaya Thompson.
Welcome to Sabria Thompson's installation here at the Crefeld Gallery. I'm so excited to show you around and tell you more about her art. Please put on the fancy noise-canceling headphones that Sabria picked out for each visitor and enjoy the ongoing soundtrack of TikTok videos as we examine the installation. You'll notice quite a diversity in technique and appearance as you peruse the pieces. Sabria has been creating art for many years, but her interest in abstract art has developed more recently. She has eagerly learned from a variety of artistic mentors, taking their lessons to heart as she strives to stretch herself. In some cases, that was literal stretching. Last year, she created an impressively gigantic painting. Ask Sabria about any of her paintings, and you will be awed by the sophisticated language she uses to describe her techniques. In many pieces, you'll notice multiple layers of colorful acrylic paint joyfully piled atop each other, and sometimes other objects attached to the paintings. There are shapes and words and details just waiting to be interpreted. Sabria's work holds a great deal of meaning. She is quite the storyteller. Often, we have heard hilariously elaborate recaps of her nightmares and wild stories from work. Now she pours her ability to notice the world and tell its stories into her art. Sabria is a very thoughtful person. This has been especially evident with her pursuit of knowledge about civil rights around the world. On the Civil Rights mini-course, she often called home to share her experiences and was so impacted by them that she chose a civil rights topic for her History Orals exhibition. Sabria continued her experiential learning, attending the Student Diversity Leadership Conference to connect with other students from around the country. Then she went even further, drinking in new experiences on Crefeld's South Africa exchange trip. Sabria processed and was changed by all she learned. You'll see social justice elements in many of her paintings. Some of the meaning that Sabria continues to search for through her art is who she is as a person. Her college essay sought to answer the question, "Who are you?" She asked several trusted figures in her life who gave her answers as complex as her artwork. Sabria is a paradox, unpredictable, and full of choices. She is radiant. She is an ever-expanding, lovely piece of origami. But other people's answers were not enough for Sabria. The bulk of the essay was her own self-analysis. This is the process you will see reflected throughout this gallery. Sabria seeks out experiences and opinions, then decides how to integrate them into her own choices and character. She has decided that she is a caring, curious, resilient artist. I noticed that many of the friends, family, and mentors who are so important to Sabria are here in the gallery today to celebrate her. Sabria is always very aware and appreciative of the support she has. She does not take help for granted, and I'm sure she will thank you personally for being here for her. Sabria tends to leave her works untitled, but this installation deserves a name. Let's call it Sabria Thompson, Journey's Beginning, for there is surely much more to come. Next year, Sabria will be exhibiting her learning and growth at Widener University as she studies psychology. Congratulations on a beautiful, intriguing, complex exhibition, Sabria. We love you and can't wait to see what you do next.
Eric Leon Simpson, Jr.
Good morning, Eric Simpson. I don't know when this became a thing, but for some reason, I started greeting Eric by first and last names when I saw him in the halls or when he walked into class. Someone said the other day, his whole name just sounds good. I love how his responses to my greetings got louder and louder each year, and his signature smile, beamed brighter and brighter. Even though he does not say much, I learned that Eric is very observant, and I have enjoyed seeing Eric find his voice, whether with actual words or his actions. I did learn early on through our advisory check-ins that Eric likes basketball. And after much coaxing from me, Dee Dee, and George, but mostly George, he finally started playing ball in the gym during lunch. Someone mentioned how selfless Eric is on the court, passing the ball off to other students when he could easily take the shot himself. He sees those around him, and he encourages them without saying a word. Eric is an accidental leader, and a lot of times those are the best ones. He took his love of basketball to pass his leadership exhibition by running a basketball activity on Fridays. He taught skills, led drills, all by example. We saw this accidental leader find his voice with each passing year. The accidental leader grew comfortable in this space, gaining confidence, and he was willing to take bigger risks by trying new things at school. As a senior, Eric stepped far outside of his comfort zone many times. He tried a new CSL to learn about farming and sustainability while shoveling mulch, cleaning out the chicken coop, and hoping to grow beets. Sorry, we couldn't do that. He piloted the geometry project for GBE, where he had to build a bridge out of toothpicks and glue. And the most important thing we learned in this process was, let the glue dry first, Eric Simpson. After his public presentation, everyone was wowed by his stage presence and his poise. And when someone asked him what he was going to do in the future, both George and I joked, a traveling international speaker. Eric smiled, shook his head, and said, "No, Tony." We saw him not in a whole new light, but with a bigger spotlight pointed right at him. He took Glass Studio for the first time this semester, where he created a really beautiful stained glass piece of the 76ers logo. His biggest risk was going to California for the San Mateo Outdoor Education mini course, where he served as a camp counselor to elementary school students for a week. Between his mom, me, and George, but again, mostly George, Eric was convinced to go, doing something so different from what he was used to. He said yes, even though he did not need it for his leadership exhibition, and no surprise, he did so well. Eric, I'm going to miss our chats. I'm going to miss seeing you. Wow. I'm going to miss greeting you every day. I'm going to miss seeing you learn new things and share your perspectives on what you see. But I'm excited for you. I'm excited for all the people you're going to impact through your leadership, accidentally or not. And I'm excited for you as you study business at Chestnut Hill College. I'm excited knowing that you are in the world making a difference. Congratulations, Eric Simpson.
Madeline Grace Clancy.
Calm, perceptive, artist, technician, risk taker. Am I speaking about 5 different people? Nope. Just this one right here, Madeline Clancy. You think you have them pegged, then they pull something out of their pocket which leaves you thinking, what just happened? But in the most magical way possible. When I first met Madeline, they and their family let me know that they are a legit mountain biker. That was my first impression of Madeline. So when they signed up for the mountain biking activity with Dan, people were surprised. But I was like, nope, they're pretty sick on the trail. This may have come as a surprise to many others because it's really not uncommon for us to see Madeline sitting so calmly and quietly, reading, drawing, or sketching, just thinking, but always creating. Their art is beautiful. Their writing is insightful. Their contributions to discussions are thoughtful and clear. Madeline is a thinker, and I'm lucky enough as their English teacher to have heard them share some pretty powerful observations about the world. Sometimes their comments may not have agreed with everyone else's, but they took the risk to share. Madeline is a risk taker, which they continuously proved these last 2 years. After starting in the fall of their junior year, Madeline quickly became a Crefeld ambassador, assisting with admissions events. They challenged themselves to perform in a play for theater class for the Winter Art Show that year, when they were already Sarah Narva's right-hand person as a sound and light technician. And this led them to their leadership exhibition this year, serving as stage manager, set designer, and peer mentor for the Lightning Thief production. It was a big task, an even greater learning experience for them, and the show was wonderful. While doing all of this, Madeline continued to show the Crefeld community just how kind and generous they are. They often clean up spaces without being asked. They often encourage others to be better, not just through words, but through their actions. They're often ready with a smile for everyone. In a year that was full of challenges, their kindness never wavered. Neither did their drive to succeed. And I think this is the biggest risk to take of all. In a world where things can seem so glum, Madeline is definitely a bright spot that lights up anywhere they are. Madeline, I'm so proud of you. You created such a beautiful space for yourself here at Crefeld, a space where you could just be you in your own time, whether mountain biking, hiking, drawing, or just being you. You continue to take risks physically and academically, even outranking Joe in the GBE hierarchy. I'm glad you found your way to Crefeld. I am glad to have witnessed your moments of growth. Why again? While you're studying at the School of Visual Arts in New York, I hope you create even more beautiful spaces with the art you make and the warmth you bring. Have fun and enjoy exploring new trails. Congratulations.
Clover Ariel Wright.
Are you wearing your four-leaf clover? Yes. Okay. That was a special request of mine today. A clover is a mystical plant, and finding a four-leaf clover brings protection and luck. We certainly have been lucky to have clover here at Crefeld. Each clover leaf is heart-shaped, appropriately reflecting clover's big heart. Clover consistently exhibits kindness, such as taking down chairs in the mornings, always checking in with teachers, and helping with groceries on their recent spring mini course. Clover always goes above and beyond. No one is quite sure where lucky clovers come from. Some say from a mystical realm. We think this might be the case for our clover too. There's the clover you see in the surface, the sweet, well-dressed, conscientious student on whose report card I struggle to write any constructive feedback beyond clover works too hard at times. However, there's more than meets the eye. When you spend time seeing clover engage the world, you see their magic and their never-ending inquiry. For example, while bees are attracted to a clover's sweetness to help produce honey, our clover is drawn to frogs and toads and appears to be able to communicate to all animals. On a 10th grade field trip to hike the Wissahickon, Clover made friends with a toad, making it hard to pay attention to what was happening on the trip. Also, their mind is always moving, constructing, considering all the potentialities. On their recent spring mini course, they were lost to the possibilities of what could be created when designing a car. The more I saw of Clover's inner magic, the more I began to suspect they were sent here as a scout from their mystical realm to learn about us and our kingdom. When they first arrived, they were more of a silent observer, collecting data and letting it sink all in. And they had a lot of data to collect with 3 different advisors, Tori, Alex, and then me, very different specimens. But Clover began to warm up to us. You could see it in their face, a smile at our idiosyncrasies, our simple industries, and an approving nod. They also found kindred spirits here at Crefeld, a passion for social justice, and a love of pie. Still, they had their data to collect. Teachers caught Clover making scrawlings on the board, little notes that said, "ee-hee-hee-hee-hee" in the mornings, and secret drawings that revealed their findings. This was highlighted in their senior creative and tech exhibitions, where they filled whiteboard after whiteboard in what they dubbed whiteboard madness, with numbers and arrows and writings that outlined their complex game. Sometimes this exploration was challenging. Clover needed breaks, respites in the corner of a room to regain momentum. Being with creatures like us and creating is rather exhausting at times. But quickly, Clover recovered and returned to work, finishing all of their exhibitions with fortitude and excellence, conducting exceptional labs, and sometimes casting spells. In our kingdom, Clover has grown so comfortable in who they are, and has been an honor to see this evolution. Clover has learned everything they need to know now from our kingdom and is ready to journey forth. Next year, Clover will continue to collect data as they pursue their passion for animation. We know that Clover will continue to be engaged in so many facets of learning, creating, and of course, bringing luck, kindness, and magic to everyone they meet. We will miss you, Clover.
Congratulations.
It's true, I'm a spy.
Martine Sario D'Antanyan.
Martine. I have known Martine since he was in elementary school, long before he came to Crefeld. So when it came time for me to write the speech, I had a hard time settling on what it was I was going to write about. Like Martine, who wrote a 13-line poem in middle school about not being able to find a single sentence to write, and I quote him, There are sentences, but Martine couldn't think of any of them. I was unsure how I could possibly capture Martine and how wonderful he is in 3 minutes. First, I thought I would write about his athletic skills. Young Martine spent time doing parkour, a sport that involves getting from one place to another acrobatically. And let me not forget his schoolhouse parkour. In middle school, his favorite mode of transportation was somersaults. He would roll up to my desk and fly into a standing position like out of a cartoon. In the middle school vigorous activity period, where students rode bicycles in the mornings, Martine sometimes would ride his unicycle. When he left middle school, he no longer did this, but he continued to strategically balance himself on a classroom chair as if it were a unicycle. Senior year, he became an active member of Students Run Philly Style, where he didn't break a sweat, just glided by effortlessly. This, however, is just one part of Martine. Perhaps I should talk about his singing voice and stage presence. When Martine took to the stage in our poetry reading, he had the audience churning in laughter. Yet when he stood to sing at the Fall Art Show, singing Green Day's 21 Guns, we were astounded. A voice like Pavarotti's came out of him. I know, Martine, you're saying in your now deep voice that belts out tunes like most recently on this year's spring mini course. Not quite Pavarotti, because Martine is also so humble, sometimes a secret to himself. With encouragement from others, Martine began to engage with his mystery and all of his other talents. He wrote wonderful tales about going to Chile with his loving family and drew mythical creatures that showed his sense of allegory. Then COVID-19 descended, and Zoom school was not a good fit for such a kinesthetic, musical person. However, Martine, as he does, did his best finding his own path, utilizing a treadmill while taking classes online. When schools resumed full times, sometimes it could still be challenging. Yet his soft, animal-loving heart could see the beauty in the world in addition to the struggles, and art poured out of him. Throughout high school, he drew, made writings that was creative and analytical. He also, as Leo pointed out, learned to take a compliment. He took on an ambitious internship with Opera Box, a theater company he has been involved with since he was a child, watching his mother perform. He was tasked with directing the chorus, but ended up building props, doing tech, and even being on stage, channeling all of his marvelous strengths. There are just so many sentences to write about you. As you continue your journey, taking a gap year with the intention of studying voice in the future, may you carry some of the sentences that your teachers said about you when we brainstormed this speech. Martine is an excellent writer, a good soul, kind soul, who sees the good in others. He is quiet, but when he shares, he is so thoughtful. Martine, you are very loved. Congratulations, and we will miss you so much.
Sophia Claire Wiedemann.
Sophia constructed an intriguing sequence of 5 related sculptures for her creative expression exhibition. She explored elemental cycles from around the world, then focused on the traditional Chinese philosophy of wuxing, the 5 elements or phases. They are water, wood, fire, metal, and earth. Each has its own qualities, each affects the others, and together they are used to explain many phenomena. Sophia immersed herself in learning more about this philosophy, brainstorming how each piece could embody one of the phases. As she excitedly told me about her ideas, I thought that she embodies these elements too. So here is my Sophia sculpture sequence study. Sophia has a great deal of the qualities of metal in her character. This phase is associated with setting high standards for yourself and others, as well as being precise and methodical. Sophia has employed these characteristics to be very successful academically. She is often a standout student, and this year she aced a science class at Chestnut Hill College. With plenty of metal in her, I think that Sophia is always ready to iron out any academic difficulties that arise. There's more. There's also quite a bit of the fire phase in Sophia. This has to do with qualities like enthusiasm and warmth. I love seeing her get excited about something she wants to share. Ask her to see pictures of her cats. Ask her about the incredible performance of cabaret she went to recently. One of Sophia's many claims to flame is the joy she finds in loved ones and experiences. I'm so sorry. At the same time, I associate the blooming and flourishing of the wood phase with Sophia. I most see this in her when she is performing. Sophia is an incredible actor and singer. She is able to play multiple characters in a single play and is a consummate ensemble member. This year, she even stepped up to understudy a role for a class she was not in. That's tremendous. Sophia is strong in the wisdom of the water phase. She is deep and reflective, self-aware, and with ideas for how to handle challenges. Her projects for her arts and social justice class were complex and layered with deep understanding of the topic studied. She is compassionate and often immediately willing to help others. She is anything but shallow. Finally, Sophia embodies the logical, empathetic, honest, and enduring qualities of Earth. For instance, she has long been honest about how much she has disliked doing her history orals, but that has not stopped her from persevering to finish them. As a person with Earth-like qualities, she knows that to plan it is only the first step with difficult things. Then you have to do it. The 5 phases lead to balance, and Sophia is a balanced person, skilled at creativity and academics, knowing when to focus and when to have fun, pretending to dislike terrible puns but secretly loving them. The balance between the phases can also change over time as one flows into or suppresses another. Sophia has grown and will continue to do so. She recently spent a transformative week at the San Mateo Outdoor Education Program, leading a group of 5th graders whom she truly loved. Sophia was so impacted by this that it has changed her future plans. Next year, she will attend Ursinus College as a theater major, and she also plans to continue educating young people. Sophia, I know you'll be in your element. We are proud of you, and we love you. Congratulations.
I didn't do that. That was Caleb Daniel Batchelor.
Caleb brings joy and happiness wherever he goes, just like ice cream. But what flavor is he? The first flavor that comes to mind is birthday cake, a fun and exciting flavor that brings a surprise with every bite. He wholeheartedly commits to silly bits, like trying to break the laws of physics and levitate in advisory. You never know what surprise he might bring. A banjo, a padlock on his museum jorts, or 37 meticulously crafted ponytails that always somehow took all of advisory to create. Perhaps Caleb is a cool and collected mint chocolate chip. His calm and reflective personality is shown in his work. Whether unflappably filling in for the art show stage crew at the last minute, completing his thoughtful research paper on punk and anti-fashion, or ironically, suggesting we watch Twilight for advisory bonding, even though that caused some chaos afterwards. Or maybe he is garlic-flavored ice cream. We don't have to talk about that one. Caleb knows why. This ice cream metaphor is good, but I don't think it quite captures Caleb. I need to get something with a wider perspective. What if Caleb was the ice cream man? He keeps all of the best things in stock. His specialties include teaching guitar lessons, his beautifully composed song, Schist, and of course, a meat stick. That one's always a hit with the folks from the Appalachian Trail mini course. Of course, Caleb shares these treats with a smile, shaping and molding each treat to be a work of art. Each one is more over the top and hilarious than the next. His most recent creation was his history orals. Immaculate, detailed, and turned in with just enough time for his teachers to enjoy them. This metaphor is not quite right either. It is still not quite silly enough. Aha! Caleb is the ice cream truck itself. Just like the truck has a cooler to protect the frozen snacks, Caleb is always making sure others feel safe during classroom discussions. Sharing his opinions while making sure others have space to do the same has always been a strength of his. Also, we can't forget about that ice cream truck jingle. Caleb always has an enthralling song that draws in those around him. He has performed numerous times at the arts show and will be touring with his band Penny Dog during the summer. These concerts are adored by everyone. No, this image doesn't quite fit either. I need to go deeper. This is it! Caleb is the abstract concept of everyone's favorite dessert, and he will ever be changing to help others feel happy and comfortable. Okay, maybe now I've made this analogy a little bit too silly, but I think Caleb might know a thing or two about that. The truth is, Caleb, you are all of these things. As you continue to spread joy and energy wherever you go, remember to have confidence and bring that trademark sweetness. I suppose there's just one thing left to say. Goodbye forever, Caleb. Which we all know means that we'll see you soon. Congratulations.
Elsie Mae Seawright.
It's tough to follow Dean. Flora Lewis was an American journalist who said, "Learning another language is not only learning different words for the same things, but learning another way to think about things." Getting to know Elsie is like learning a language. Like any other language, there are rules. I started teaching and advising Elsie when she was in 9th grade, but I didn't know how to speak Elsie yet, so I had to try to learn the rules on the fly. As Elsie's advisor, it was my job to support her around things like deadlines and receiving feedback on her work. Arbitrary deadlines and feedback before work is considered completely and fully polished are both against Elsie's rules. It was and is clear that Elsie cares deeply about her work, and it's highly personal to her, but she doesn't want to share it before she's ready. Clear instructions are important to Elsie, and she follows them closely, but she cannot be rushed, and she will have opinions about your rules. Asian and Nordic countries have listening cultures where silence denotes careful thought. You don't always know that Elsie is getting what you're saying until later. When speaking Elsie, it's important to wait and listen. When she speaks, her pauses are intentional. She's thinking in those pauses, and when you wait, you get something incredible. In the same way that there's overlap between the Romance or Germanic languages, there is overlap between Elsie and other languages, like mathematics. Elsie is well-versed in the language of math, and she loves it. There is no showiness, just quiet, steady competence. Elsie also speaks GameMaker GML, which she learned this year in her coding classes. She used that language to create a 3-level video game for her creative and technology exhibitions. In any language, there are exceptions to the rules. For example, I before E, except after C. Weird, right? Elsie allows for exceptions too. Despite her aversion to sharing her work and to public speaking, Elsie eloquently presented her creative and technology exhibitions to the whole school community for her public presentation. She has rules, but she knows when to bend them. Like any foreign language, it's hard to learn all of the intricacies of speaking Elsie. If this was an Edgeseer course, we'd say we've completed about 75% here at Crefeld. We're not fluent yet, but it has been a privilege for us to be immersed in the language of Elsie enough to learn to speak it these last several years. When we get it right, when we speak a few lines without error, there is nothing better than the reward of a true Elsie smile. Elsie, as you head off to the Rochester Institute of Technology School of Computing, we hope that you remember that they don't speak Elsie, not yet. They haven't even heard of it. Remember to give them time to learn, and know that you'll find others who love and appreciate languages just like you. Congratulations.
Mariana Amando Zegos Barbera.
Where's the pink-haired girl? Have you seen the pink-haired girl? When Mariana joined our advisory last year, I quickly noticed that most of the time, she wasn't actually in advisory. It became a daily game of, where's Mariana? But we finally figured out her usual spots. Pink-haired girl evolved into Pink Dragon Actual Panda after last year's Appalachian Trail mini course. So it's not unusual for me to be wandering down the hall during advisory hollering, "Have you seen Pink Dragon?" The thing is, Mariana isn't hiding. No. We see her. And not just because of her pink hair. It is because she has a personality that draws people to her for so many reasons. She and I can talk about H Mart for days. Mention the name of the market, her eyes light up. Sometimes she'll have soup dumplings for lunch, and if it's not from H Mart, she quickly lets us know how good it isn't. So if you ever lose Mariana in H Mart, find her in the soup dumpling aisle. But one really can't lose Mariana because she's so vocal about a great many things. Vocals. Girl can sing. Mariana's voice fills the room with beautiful energy. She has a distinctive voice, but it's not just her singing that is memorable. She plays a mean keyboard, and let's not forget the drums. She wails on those drums, and to think she has been playing for just a couple of years is astounding. Mariana uses her voice not just for music, but also to stand up for justice. She's quick to point out what is right and wrong, but most importantly, why it is wrong and what should be done about it. She wrote a pretty solid research paper last year entitled "How the Human Rights of Chileans Were Violated During the Pinochet Regime." And whether it's about indigenous people, gender, or race, Mariana stands as an ally, co-conspirator even for those who are othered. This shows great self-awareness. She sees the world and her place in it, and she knows how to make sure that others are seen in return. We cannot help but see Mariana. She brings so much joy and light to every space she enters. Tony, you want to hear something? Getting news from Mariana has been one of my greatest highlights as her advisor. Whether it's college news, family news, music news, or a new snack she tried from H Mart, the smile that accompanies her news is enough to brighten my day. Our little chats about anything or nothing at all are some things I will truly miss. Mariana, You are the pink dragon. And while I complained about always having to search for you during advisory, it became my routine. I don't know what I'm going to do with those extra few minutes next year. What I do know is that with your voice, enthusiasm, warmth, and colorfulness, you have left your mark here at Crefeld. You have wrapped so many here within your wings of joy, safety, and warmth, while setting fires under them to be better. Remember this when you are at Berklee College of Music in Boston. Continue to use your voice to create beautiful harmony, both in music and with people. May the pink dragon rise.
Nasheed Unquil Robinson Smith.
Now, I don't want anyone here to think that Sheed is enjoying being in the spotlight. It's his worst nightmare. Okay, maybe not the worst, but it's definitely down there. Some of his classmates over here might sing and dance to make their presence known, but Sheed just enjoys being a quiet presence. Just because he doesn't need that attention, though, don't think he isn't a main character, or you'll miss out on a super special guy. Sheed is the quiet connector and an important part of our community. Sheed makes quiet connections with people here, too. He often surprises us with sweet treats, which always brings other students to his side. He also really observes people and learns what makes them smile. In 9th grade, when he was in Gina's advisory, he would bake all different treats, and the fun discussions about what recipes worked and didn't are what really brought the advisory together. And of course, that sugar didn't hurt either. At the end of his Algebra 2 class, he gave Leo a book of jokes. He knew she liked to tell jokes, and I think he was trying to give her a little more help. During COVID, when we were all on Zoom, that was fun, right? Sheed would take his computer and walk the advisory around his house, showing everyone his turtle and his cats, since he knew that would be a great way for everyone to connect. And I mean, who doesn't love a silly kitten and a shared smile during a pandemic? Another way that Sheed connects with people is through his love of games. Sheed loves board games. He loves video games. He loves role-playing games. For his spring mini course this year, he even created a whole arcade game cabinet. I don't know where he's going to put it, but he did. It's incredible, and you should ask him to see a picture of it. For his creative and technology exhibitions, he made an elaborate video game where the goal was to find the diamond at the end of the cave. It had levels, challenges, and deep mysteries to solve. When he presented it for his senior public presentation, the students were very excited and asked when he would publish it so that they could play it then. Sheed, you are a connector. You made our halls more welcoming with your shared smiles and your true gratitude for all who got to work with you. You work hard. You work diligently. You treat everyone with respect and kindness. And that quiet connection you bring is not one that demands the spotlight or the floor, but one that we quietly and gratefully accept. As you go off into the world, first taking a gap year and then studying at Arcadia University, know that we will miss your calm and quiet presence, your earnestness, your perseverance. Not everyone knows how hard you had to work to finish this strong, but they don't need to. You know, and we are proud, quietly proud, connected and proud. Thank you, Sheed, for bringing that to us. Congratulations.
Wisp Gallagher.
This is fine. It was fine.
No, just in case.
Yeah, okay. Hi, Wisp.
Oh, sorry.
I've noticed you developed something like a motto over the years. Generally, it goes like, good morning, and then leads into a wildly inaccurate joke about your advisor's height. For no particular reason, I would like to propose an alternative. As the huge fan you are, you'll recall there's a song by Amy Winehouse called Valerie. The opening line, when you really think about it, reminds me a lot of you. She says, well, sometimes I go out by myself and I look across the water, and I think of all the things, what you're doing, and in my head I paint a picture. If you break it down piece by piece, I think that could honestly be your motto. Let me explain. The first part, where she says, sometimes I go out by myself, speaks to your fierce sense of pride and your uniqueness. You really value incorporating personal, genuine thoughts into every conversation and project that you conduct, and you leave your audience with a feeling that they could only have had that experience with you, no one else. For many who value their individuality, they develop a sense of vanity, but that's not true for you. By bringing your own flair to each conversation, you value each and every person that you talk to, and we're so lucky for that. The next part, and I look across the water, isn't just an excellent example of Amy's vocal range, but it helps to illuminate your love of nature. If you weren't skipping along Forbidden Drive in your signature headband, you were leading your mini course this year to great success. And despite an off-the-cuff death march orchestrated by Leo, your love for the Wissahickon remained intact. And you continued leading people in a week of appreciating the natural world, and that's such an important skill these days. And I think of all the things, what you're doing. Well, this one has two meanings. First of all, I don't know if anyone can ever predict what your next move is. But that's best demonstrated when you brought in an entire nightstand for anything but a backpack day. The amount of commitment it took for you to lug around furniture all day is admirable, but you and I both know you should have brought in the matching armoire. I'm joking, that was pretty great. The other meaning behind that line has to do with how introspective you are. It's not an easy skill for anyone, but you have an excellent grasp of why and how you do things. And that's bound to help you in the future. To reflect on yourself as a human, identifying both strengths and growing edges is really a tough thing. And you've become so proficient with it so soon. You should be proud. Lastly, Amy says, and in my head, I paint a picture. You are a natural-born architect, Wisp, and you create intricate and grand designs which couple well with your determination to see a project through, such as your Creative and Tech exhibition in which you fixed a sky camera to the roof. You should really check it out, folks. It's pretty cool. It's not always easy, and like many creators, your work sometimes remains unfinished. Just remember that that's because of the high standards you always hold yourself to. That being said, your familiarity with technology allows you to follow through on these standards, and we're all hard-pressed to find anyone as handy with computers as you. You even navigated the dark web to conduct research for a paper last year, and if figuring out an onion router isn't an academic tour de force, I don't know what is. Well, there you have it, Wisp. Undeniable proof that Amy Winehouse wrote a motto specifically for you. As you head out to Hampshire College, keep in mind how much work you put in to get there. And take the opportunity to grow and thrive like the spice bushes and the wisps every spring. Good luck, Wisp. I knocked the glasses over, my bad.
John Isaac Bateman.
Hey, Isaac, how about this weather we're having? One day midwinter, this became Isaac's tagline. It ran for about a week or two, then it became something else, then another thing. He has these zingers that just make me smile. Isaac likes to talk and he's good at it. He will talk to anyone about anything, especially in an advisory, where our conversations were definitely not dull. While we did have serious moments, we would sometimes devolve into rather silly chats, often with Isaac's help, like what presidents were the shortest and whether or not they could be kidnapped in a burlap sack. As I said, Isaac can talk about anything, and I am glad that advisory was a safe space for him to do that. It's where I got to see more of his personality, honest, fun, and genuine. That's Isaac. He's genuine. He greets people by name, whether student or staff. And in a world where so many people feel unseen, Isaac's personal greetings lets all of us know that he sees us. As a result, we see him for the truly kind person he is. He is genuinely funny and he loves to laugh. One of my favorite things he said this year is when, in advisory, we were forced to listen to some music that was questionable in genre. I said, wow, that didn't fit together at all, and without skipping a beat, Isaac said, that's not even like peanut butter and jelly, that's more like nuts and gum. His humor is great, and if you heard Isaac giggle, you know that that is truly a mood lifter. Isaac definitely does have a lot to say about many things. His History Orals exhibition was excellent. He researched the impact 4 theologians had on the Protestant Reformation, and he killed it. And I don't know if you all know this, but Isaac has some interest in socialism. He mastered the art of bringing up socialism, whether it was related to the day's topic or not. He has some really genuine thoughts about how the world could be better. Last year in his ecology elective, he wanted to design a watershed that includes socialized housing and a community brewery and beer garden. Not beer garden, just a garden. Yeah, sorry. You know like that. A garden. He wanted a community garden. It's the tears. It's the tears. He truly wants the world to be a better place with good produce. That is the fire that fuels him. Another topic that gets Isaac excited is art. He would show me pictures of some sculptures he made just for fun. I would ask, what's it made of, Isaac? Oh, trash. He explained how he learned from his grandmother about not wasting anything. So his art often was of repurposed items he found anywhere. His creative exhibition was a beautiful small-scale sculpture of an imagined war scene with a rusted-out tank made of found objects. Visual art? Check. Did I mention performance art? Double, triple check. Isaac comes alive when performing, and even reading parts in English class is so entertaining. This is his passion. The stage is his happy place. He thrives when he is performing, and I am excited to know that he will be doing what he enjoys as Isaac will study theater at Arcadia University this fall. Isaac, getting to know you these last 2 years has definitely been eventful. I have truly enjoyed seeing your genuine self in your care for others as you try to make this world a better place for all. You, being at Crefeld, has definitely not been nuts and gum. It has truly been peanut butter and jelly. Congratulations, Isaac.
Anthony John Root.
Anthony. Anthony. Anthony! Oh, silly me. Looks like he is wearing his headphones. Not even the earthquake earlier this year could get his attention with those on. He truly puts all of his energy into every activity he is doing. Looks like they are plugged into his favorite video game, Rock Band. How fitting. This game is not only one of the first ways Anthony learned to play the guitar, it also symbolizes his time here at Crefeld. This game requires hours upon hours of practice to really get good. Often you have to start on easy, playing only 3 notes at a time, and work your way up to expert, which uses all 5 keys. Each song is different. When learning a new song, sometimes there are missed notes. When Anthony first came to Crefeld, he sometimes had big reactions and mistimed some of the things he said. However, through dedicated practice, and I mean dedicated practice, often at 3 o'clock in the morning, and letting all his teachers know just how much sleep he got. After all that practice, Anthony moved on to more difficult songs and produced some truly amazing work. His leadership, where he shared his love for Puyo Puyo Tetris, his excellent podcast project, and his science exhibition, where he studied voltage levels of lemon batteries in series versus parallel. After so much practice, Anthony is able to 100% many songs. He is a completionist and puts his whole heart into everything he does. He is so dedicated to his family, always talking about his parents, aunts, uncles, brothers, sisters, cousins, nieces, and nephews, whom he adores with all of his heart. He dedicated himself to the Crefeld community. In group discussions, he was insightful and self-aware. He worked to respectfully share his opinion while also listening to others. He enjoyed the cleanup crew service learning, where he helped keep the school grounds in order. He hit just the right notes this past year, building up his star power meter and challenging himself on every level. The meter fills up all the way, and Anthony is ready to activate his star power for his solo. He wants to share in this excitement. Anthony hypes up the room wherever he goes, blasting his solo to everyone in the vicinity. Whether he is out dancing at prom, leading the conga line all over the dance floor, singing for an open mic, or performing in one of the arts shows, the crowd jumps with enthusiasm along with him. His last performance of The Middle had us all rocking in our seats. Anthony, your practice time here at Crefeld is complete. You have gotten all of the achievements you can. As you head off to Rowan University next year, continue to hype up others and make sure to hype up yourself as well. We will always be cheering for you wherever you go and for whatever you decide to do. Congratulations.
So I'm going to ask the graduates to come and line up right here, face the crowd. You can leave your diploma. No specific order. Madre Muda. Wisp. Anywhere, we just need to see you. Family, friends, staff, I present to you the graduating class of 2024. Woohoo! Yeah! Woo! Yeah! Woo! Thank you all. This now concludes our ceremony.